What's up, everybody? Renee Rodriguez with the Long Story Longer podcast, and I'm back with a quick episode, a bonus episode. So I've been gone away at work for almost 3 weeks. Started working in Ludlow, California. That's in the desert between LA and Vegas. Not a whole lot going on out there. Staying in Barstow, California. There's an outlet mall not that far away from there, and Route 66 is there. But that place is gangster, not a whole lot going on. Yeah, it is what it is. But I was there for a week, and I'm back in San Diego now. Up until this upcoming Friday when I fly home. Friday, May 22nd. It's been a long hitch. I'm tired, I'm beat, I'm sunburnt. I heard in places that haven't heard in a long time. But yeah, man, it's been a long time away from home, so that's why I haven't had an episode for a while. I've had some fun though since I got to San Diego. One of my longtime friends from high school, Damien Polanco, was in town, and we've been talking back and forth on Instagram about getting together whenever he comes to visit San Diego for business. And this dude reaches out to me at one point and says, "Hey dude, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, you're going to the Padres game with me." Padres baseball game that happened yesterday on Monday, whatever yesterday was, the 18th, or I should check my phone, but I'm recording with it. Whatever yesterday was, Monday, Dodgers at San Diego. Thankfully, the Padres won. It was a great game, 1-0, but I got to see a bunch of living all-stars that play at the moment. Ohtani from the Dodgers. I can't name everybody. I'm again, mentally tired, mentally exhausted. But I'm glad Damien came over and took me to that game. We had dinner beforehand at some Italian restaurant. It was pretty good. Can't remember the name. But we had a great conversation, and I think what's cool, and I've mentioned that when I had Raul Hernandez on the podcast, and even other people, like I like running into people that I haven't seen in so long, and picking up with conversation, like you never skip a beat. Picking up wherever you left off 20 plus years ago, and in Damien's case, and we do talk on social media every so often, on Instagram mainly, but nothing like talking in person, being there physically with the person you're talking to, and just laughing, having a good time, and whenever you're making a point, just tapping each other on the shoulder, talking, laughing, all the good stuff, Damien, thank you, bro. That as tired as I was yesterday, it's like I didn't even think about it because I'm at the ball game enjoying it. I'm having dinner with you, enjoying that, bro. And it was a breath of fresh air while I'm out at work, I do try to have a lot of fun while I'm out here, taking advantage of working in San Diego, and that was an added bonus to this work hitch, especially being that it was a long hitch and having a friend come over and have a good time with. Boom, badass. I loved it. Making memories, man. We did talk about stuff in the past, stuff going on right now, everything good. I'm glad to see that he's a successful dude, and making a name for himself. So yeah, man, great times. I want to talk real quick about a previous guest, Jane Like Fire. They've got new music coming up this Friday, May 22nd. They've been a podcast guest of mine. The whole band has. I love their music. I love the way they perform live. I love the way they interact with each other as a band, right? These kids are amazing talent. And so yeah, they've got an album coming out, or more tracks coming out, I should say, this Friday, May 22nd, like I said. I believe, if I remember correctly from what they told me, I actually wrote the notes down, but I hope I'm not mistaken when I say they've got 4 tracks coming to all music streaming platforms that they're on. 4 new tracks. But if you buy the CD, you'll have a 5th bonus track. So remember, follow Jane Like Fire on all their social media. Listen to them on all the music streaming platforms that you might have, whether it be Apple Music, Spotify, what have you. Support local music out of El Paso. Remember, these kids are great musicians for how young they are, right? So yeah, I wish nothing but the best for Jane Like Fire. I can't wait to hear these new tracks on Friday. It'll definitely be something I'm going to listen to on the plane, on the way home, on my plane ride, right? On repeat, I bet. Jane Like Fire, keep on kicking ass. Love you guys. I want to talk about a band that I truly grew up listening to. And it's crazy because with this band, highly commercial band for sure, right? But I think they're forgotten every so often. And true story, this is fucking crazy, but like one of my true stories with this band I want to talk about is every so often I need a music reset where I gotta get away from the stuff that I listen to on a daily basis. As much as I love my favorite bands like Soundgarden or the Foo Fighters, the Chili Peppers, what have you, every so often I take a step back and think about the bands I haven't heard in a while. And one of the bands that I constantly go back to is The Cult. The Cult is they're a great band, right? She Saw Sanctuary, Fire Woman, Painted on My Heart from the Gone in 60 Seconds soundtrack. But to me, if I go back to my time in art school in Phoenix, I remember during the times of Napster and LimeWire. Ultimately, I bought the CD eventually, and I listened to that CD nonstop. But I remember when I didn't have a dime to my name, I'm going to art school. I was downloading their music, right? And I think it was around 2000, 2001 that their album Beyond Good and Evil came out. And to me, that album was great. I listened to that album top to bottom in my early 20s. The whole album is great. I love it. To me, I hope not to offend the Cult, but to me, that album at that time, not all, but some of the songs have a Stone Temple Pilots type vibe, and I think that's what drew me into that album. But yeah, man, there's a song called Breathe in particular that I love on that album. Rise as well. That album's heavy, it's melodic, it's great. Ian Astbury and his vocals. Ian Astbury also sang for The Doors at some point, most recently. Well, years back already, right? I say most recently, but that was probably 10, 15 years ago at this point. But yeah, man, I love The Cult, and again, that's one of the bands that I often go back to reset my music palette. Especially that album Beyond Good and Evil. And what's crazy is I'm at work again on this long hitch, and of course I check my social media before I go to bed. And I've actually been so tired that I've been going to bed pretty fucking early recently. But I checked my messages this one day, and I've got whoever follows me can message me directly, right? But then you got your whoever you don't follow necessarily. There's like a barrier before they could reach your regular messages. So I saw that I had a message from somebody I didn't know. That message was from Tyler Browne. I don't know who she was. So I look into their message, and it's somebody that wanted to be on the podcast with a band, a tribute band to The Cult called LA Cult. LA is in Los Angeles Cult. So it's crazy. It's a crazy coincidence that they reached out to me, right? Like, it makes me feel real happy that I asked her how they heard about the Long Story Longer podcast. And of course, I love having musicians on. As a musician myself, I love talking to the musicians. So Tyler reached out to me saying they're going to be not performing in El Paso, but they're going to be performing this Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, May 23rd in Ruidoso, at a place called Jack's Backstage. I haven't been to Jack's Backstage, but I looked up the website. It's a pretty cool venue, man. I'm going to have to hit it up. I know a lot of El Paso Memorial Day weekend goes to Ruidoso. So yeah, man, if you guys have a chance, go see LA Cult in Ruidoso this weekend, Memorial Day weekend 2026, Saturday, May 23rd. So I got to talking to Tyler, and it just talking to her, and even just the anticipation to be talking to somebody from a Cult tribute band. It took me back to my childhood, right? My early 20s. Not my childhood, but you understood me. So with me, of course, being from El Paso, we did hear the songs on KLEQ. She Saw Sanctuary, mainly Fire Woman. Once the Gone in 60 Seconds movie came out, KLEQ, MTV, VH1, everybody played Painted on My Heart. I've got a video of Mijo, Ryan, my 12-year-old son. Now he just turned 12. Crazy. Time's going by quick. Slow down. But I've got a video of Mijo that I took when he was, I guess, just post-toddler age, singing Painted on My Heart.
Painted on your face, painted on my heart, painted on your face again, your face again, your face again, and your face again.
And the lyrics are all messed up. He's not singing completely the right lyrics, but he's singing that song because he used to love it as a kid. And Mijo's always been musically inclined, right? So yeah, man, a cult, the cult owns a special place in my heart for sure. But I think about the cult also with me playing video games at a young age. She Saw Sanctuary was on the Gran Turismo 3 soundtrack, I believe. On the PS2 was the system at the time. I believe so. PS2, PS3, whatever it was. I want to say it was PS2. But yeah, She Saw Sanctuary was on that soundtrack too. So of course, I love that song off of that game too. And then, what else? I was thinking about something else as far as their songs. Not Gone in 60 Seconds anymore. Not She Saw Sanctuary. But yeah, going back again to Beyond Good and Evil, just downloading those songs off of LimeWire or Napster at the time, and loving the whole album top to bottom. So anyway, going back to Tyler Browne and her band, the Alley Cult. I think it's crazy that I'd asked her how she heard about the podcast, and she just Googled El Paso podcast and found me with the Long Story Longer podcast. And I just feel so bad, right, that I'm not at home to interview them formally, interview the whole band formally. I wish I was, because I love having the guests over. I love having to interact with them in person again, and just seeing what they're all about, you know. But I did ask Tyler some questions, and I'll get to those shortly. She did send some video responses. Again, not a formal interview. I wish it was. But maybe next time they're in Ruidoso, or maybe even El Paso, they'll stop by the podcast and we can talk some more, you know. I'm excited for whoever does go see them in Ruidoso. They're going to be playing with a Motley Crue tribute band as well. So if you're into Motley Crue, if you're into the cult, again, Jack's Backstage in Ruidoso, New Mexico, this Saturday, May 23rd. So let's get to the questions. I'm going to plug in her video responses after I ask each and every question. So my first question is, who is the Alley Cult?
Hey Renee, great to meet you. Thanks for having me on Audio Pepper. I am Tyler, the lead vocalist. Our first lead guitar player, aka Billy Duffy, is Matt Gruber. Our second lead guitar player is Stu Collins. Our bass player is Chris Decker. And our drummer is Tim Rossetti.
Of all the bands to pay tribute to, why the Cult? And I ask that because to me it's a perfect band to pay tribute to. A lot of us know the songs. A lot of us know that at the very second that we hear one of the songs that we recognize playing in the background, we're gonna go like, oh shoot, I love that song, or whatever, right? And I know the Cult has that effect on me. So again, of all bands to pay tribute to, why the Cult? Perfect choice to pay tribute to.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Yes, we're all big fans of the Cult. Me particularly, because I had always wanted to be in a band like the Cult. In fact, I had an original band way back when called Alice to the Moon that eventually became Sonic Shaman, which was very much inspired by the band The Cult, and I was especially inspired by Ian Astbury himself.
So of course we know the songs I mentioned earlier: She Saw Sanctuary, Fire Woman, Painted on My Heart, Breathe, Rise. What other Cult songs do you guys recommend? And also, what other songs by the Cult do you guys love playing live?
Whoa, Painted, that's a deep cut there. Yes, we do Sanctuary, and we do Fire Woman and Love Removal Machine, Wildflower, all the hits. But One of my very favorite songs by the Cult would be Aphrodisiac Jacket, which we also do from the Electric album. And I recommend strongly to check out another deep cut. It's called The Witch, that we also do, which I very much enjoy doing. And it's from a soundtrack movie, which is live action and animation called Cool World.
Do y'all play any other music? Are you guys in any other projects?
Yes, other projects. Well, I've come from mostly an original music background. Like I said, I've been in original bands since I was very, very young, maybe 13, 14 years old. I just recently auditioned for the LA Cult about 3 years ago now. 3 years in this November. Strangely enough, I was asked to do a couple of other tribute bands, which have been great fun. The guys do a couple of other cover bands. I believe our drummer is also in another original band. But yeah, the LA Cult definitely keeps us very, very busy.
And my final question, I kind of already answered it, but I'll let you guys hear it in her words. What brings LA Cult to the El Paso area? Actually, Ruidoso, right? But they're flying into El Paso, I imagine, or driving through El Paso. What brings LA Cult to the El Paso area?
Yes, the LA Cult is very excited to be coming to Ruidoso, New Mexico, specifically Jack's Backstage. We're going to be playing with a Motley Crue tribute. And that will be this Saturday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. So come and get your fill of the Cult as well as Motley Crue. It's going to be a smashing good time. Thanks again for having us. Make sure you all follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the LA Cult.
So yeah, man, if any of you guys go see them perform, tell them Renee from the Long Story Longer podcast says hi. I wish I could make it out to Ruidoso. I do have a lot of stuff going on this weekend, so unfortunately I can't make it. But I wish I was there. Tell me how well they did. Follow at the LA Cult on Instagram to see all their updates. Tyler Browne seems like a great, genuine person that loves music. And again, I've said it time and time again, music is life. Music is everything to me. And I look forward to someday, as I said earlier, having them drop by my house, the podcast studio, and I get to interview them formally. LA Cult, best of luck this weekend in Ruidoso, New Mexico. I hope you guys have a great time out here, and I hope you guys come back. Maybe next time you guys do come back, I'll be home too. I'm over here with my long hair, thinking I look like Gavin Rossdale circa 1997 or whatever, right? I look more like this guy from Pirates of the Caribbean, I think. Fuck. Take it easy.